Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast to guide you home into your human journey here on Earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard, and it is my delight to co-create with Gaia and share our messages from Source in this now moment. Here we go. Episode 472. It is Thursday here in Cincinnati. It's been raining and the sun came out right before I started recording. And we are headed towards Eclipse portal moments together. The title for today is Eclipse Time. And I don't really know how each of us are interpreting those two words, but it feels important to link them up, to bring time and this eclipse energy into the same sentence, into the same energetic conversation. So we're going to explore for a little bit what is happening in astrology and then how I feel that moving in the energy. And then from here, I'm going to go create a new moon tarot card reading, a new moon meditation, and just be in this energy as we are headed towards the new moon total eclipse in Aries on Monday, April 8th, 2024. There has been so much conversation about this. I am just amazed at the collective consciousness that is witnessing and pausing time to allow people to be present with this experience. I don't remember it getting this much attention in the past. So, for example, my husband is a teacher. The entire Cincinnati public school system is closed on Monday for an eclipse. Like, what? I just think that's remarkable. And I really love that so many people are able to gather together in whatever communities they feel called to be present for an astrological event. Here in the United States, it's moving directly. I mean, it's got its own path, but we're in the path where I guess we get to see it for several minutes, this eclipse energy. What I've said to my husband is, watch, it's going to be raining. No one will be able to see anything. But I hope that's not true. I'm trusting that the experience will be exactly what our souls have called forward. And it is so much more than just that one moment. Eclipses are activations. We started with one 2 weeks ago with the I'm getting all jumbled on my words anymore, with the full moon partial lunar eclipse in Libra on Monday a week ago, leading up to this total solar eclipse new moon in Aries on the 8th. And so we're in the portal, we're in the in-between. And in that, I think time, as we understand it, bends and morphs and shifts, and we're offered glimpses into other potential realities of time, other potential timelines, past timelines, patterns, cycles. There's this pause in the linear structure. This is all my words I'm just using to describe it as an energy. I feel like there's this pause in the linear understanding of how we mark our days and our hours and our years, and things get all jumbled. And if we're present, we can untangle them and see straight through to the core energy, the core light, the core truth of whatever it is that's most present for us. The other piece that's so amazing at this time is that, and again, this is astrology you should probably do your own homework on to get your own interpretation for. This is my interpretation. The total solar eclipse is exactly conjunct Chiron, North Node, meaning our wound, I talked about this last week, our wound, our Chiron wound is being portaled. The potential for alchemy is happening in this time with this precise activation on Monday. And if we can transmute that, the wound, the story, the belief that we've held on to our whole life that has kept us in our pain, kept us in our suffering, the work we came here to do, to understand as souls in human, dense, emotional bodies with minds that loop and spin and create story. When we transmute that, the wound, it can become our life purpose, our greatest gift that we give back to humanity. And the fact that this total solar eclipse is conjunct Chiron North Node while Pluto is in Aquarius, which is activating the next 20-year journey of Pluto being in Aquarius, I feel like a door is opening for all of us, for each of us, a door to a new reality, a new way of experiencing our human realm, of playing out the work that we're here to do with perhaps not as much wound, but instead more alignment and purpose and focus. Taking something that has held us back and using it as fuel so that our momentum, our pace forward is that much faster and aligned and empowered. A week after the total solar eclipse on the 8th, actually 2 weeks, 2 weeks later, Jupiter and Uranus will be conjunct. And that is like, I was describing it in a call yesterday, that is like rocket ship fuel behind the clarity that is arriving in this time right now. There's this that's going to happen, that if we're strong and steady in the work that we've been doing in this eclipse time, if we have been present and we are clearing and shedding the things that don't serve and transmuting the wound into the gift, into the purpose, and finding the core truth of whatever is most alive for us right now, when we step into that Aries new moon energy, Aries, the beginning of the zodiac cycle, new moon, new beginnings, when we step into that and hold ourselves steady in that energy, what is it, 12 days later, comes this rocket fuel to say, go. It's just magnificent to me. It's incomprehensible how the astrology has layered all of these beautiful pieces of alignment for us. It's almost as if our souls all got together. Perhaps this happened. Our souls all got together before we came here to Earth, to Gaia, to have this life story. And we all said, okay, it's going to be a shit show for a while. We're going to be in our muck. We're going to be doing the stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Wound, activate, trigger, all the stuff. And then we're going to create. We're going to align with the astrology, the stars, the universe, the entire cosmos. And we're going to focus all of the parts and pieces in exactly the right combination. It's like unlocking the lock of the most magnificent safe. And when that happens, we can open the door to a different way of being a soul in a human body here on this planet. Some of us maybe call it the new earth. Some of us call it heaven on earth. I don't know. What do you want to call it? You can call it whatever you want to call it. It's yours to create. I like the word doorway, threshold. A new beginning, a new way that is so undefined that nobody can tell you yet what it looks like. Words are so limited. We don't know what we don't know, but we can feel the frequency of it, the vibration, the truth of it, the potential of it. And so this eclipse time is it's this beautiful gift. It's like what's a good example to give you? This is the image that's coming to mind, so I'll just name it. It's like the bride who knows that she's going to walk down the aisle and her beloved is waiting for her at the end of the aisle. And she knows this is what she's been wanting her entire life, And she knows that the beloved will be there. It's like there's no doubt anywhere in any of it. And she's in preparation mode. She's putting on her makeup. She's having her hair done. She's chatting with her girlfriends. She's like, like giddy. She's giddy with joy, knowing it's happening. There's no doubt. There's no friction. There's such trust in the journey that's beginning after the two meet at the end of the aisle. The journey will happen. The marriage will happen. Everything that comes after that is going to be incredible because the commitment between the two is so pure, so strong, so certain, so sure. Whatever happens next is going to be exactly as it's meant to, exactly as the two have agreed. And here she is in the preparation time. And it feels important to say, this doesn't mean it has to be a young, innocent bride who is filled with fairy tales and stories of princes and princesses and romance and happily ever after. I feel like this could be the bride who has lived life, who's had her heart broken and has stood up, like I talked about in last week's session, call, masterclass episode. It's a bride who has lived life, who has found her own knowing of herself and has made a choice that is clear, empowered, decisive, certain. And her beloved has done the same. And it's the day of, and she's getting ready. And all she can think about is how exciting this moment is and how it's everything she's ever wanted. And she gets to just be in the beauty of it. I feel like that's the best way to describe this Pluto in Aquarius 20-year cycle. What is 20 years? It's nothing. To the soul, even to the human, 20 years, I look back 20 years ago, I'm like, oh, I remember that. And also, a lot has happened in that time. We can be in the magical anticipation, the delight of knowing what is about to happen for longer than just one day or 1 week or a year or two. We can savor the journey that is beginning and receive every drop of the joy. So there might be some bumps, the person who's going to do the makeup might show up late. The person with the hair might not do it exactly the way you want. Well, you got to redo. The tiara might not fit the right way. The dress might be a little snug because you had too much to eat last night at the rehearsal dinner. I mean, there's stuff that happens that may feel like a little bump, but it's the certainty of the next step. The belief and the trust in the union that is arriving. That's what we focus on. And here in eclipse time, all the energy that is not in alignment with that trust and that knowing is coming up for us to clear, to look at, to sit with. I've spent so many hours over the last 2 weeks in my muck, in my stuff, sorting through, being so present with what's actually true. A great process or practice, if you're kind of feeling like, I don't even know what you're saying to do. What do I do in eclipse time? Give me something to do. Because this is all great theory and idea and philosophy. Give me something to do. Here's what I would tell you to do. Get out a journal, if you have one, and a pen. Make a cup of tea, coffee if you want, water, whatever. Find a quiet spot. Block everything out. Just give yourself 1 hour and see what happens. And then if you have time, you can go to 2 hours or 3 hours or however long you need. Block everybody out. Put on some really beautiful high frequency music that connects you to your higher consciousness, whatever that is for you. Any of the hertzes will do that. The HZ, look that up on Spotify. And then start writing. And the prompt I would give you is see truth. See truth. I watched this in a reel a while ago and I was like, oh my God, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. This is so cool. See truth. If you want to go deeper, you can go know truth. K-N-O-W. Know truth. It's not even just seeing it. It's like I know it. I feel it in my body. And then allow your awareness, your consciousness to start to bring things up. Whatever is most present, it will come forward in your mind. Your mind will be like, see truth about what? I'll tell you. Let's look at truth. And your mind will go, bah, 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 bah. And it'll start telling you all the things that you need to explore. So you can make a list and then go through it one by one. See truth and see what comes through. Write it down. Let your hand just write. Or if you're more audio, record it in your phone. But I think there's something really powerful right now about writing. Hand, pen, paper, writing. Letting energy come through our consciousness and out our hands and onto the paper. And we just move the energy. Our hands are an extension of our heart chakra. So you'll move from your heart straight out. And if you keep coming back to see truth, know truth. Let me know truth. Your system will align with that intention. This is a new moon in Aries. It's about beginnings, intentions, the start of a new cycle. Let's step into that cycle as clear and pure and true to ourselves as possible. We had a partial lunar eclipse in Libra. So what may be coming up for you are places where you and your primary partner are not seeing truth or speaking truth or knowing truth. Perhaps you want to go through some of your relationships. I did this work myself based on beautiful guidance from my friend May. She's like, sit down and do this work. And I did, and it was liberating. It was so beautiful and so simple as I did it. She said, write down, maybe she didn't say write, but she said, tune in with the higher self of the one you want to be connecting with in relationship, and then see what's there for you. Have that level of dialogue. So you can just write, like, okay, if I'm going to see truth in my primary relationship, my relationship with your parents, your children, your friends, your clients, your neighbors, your boss, your pets, whatever it is, look at your relationships and see truth and just see what comes through. I wrote some beautiful, what I would call collective letters to my friends, to my clients, that just sorted things out in my own mind and heart. It's like, what's true and what isn't? Let me see truth. Let me know truth. Because when I see it and I know it in myself, I can speak it. I can express it. Because it comes from this aligned energy in my heart chakra. When I know it and I feel it inside of me and then I speak it, it's completely different than when it's what I'm thinking should be or what I think others should be. It's just straight from my heart and out. And then from there, let's see what needs to happen. In this eclipse time, there's this inner work to do, and then it's a new moon in Aries. There will be action, there will be steps to take, there will be conversations to have, or letters to write, or energy to express. There will be action. And in this time that we're still in before the eclipse, and maybe for a week or two even after the eclipse, there's some inner shedding, shaking, clarifying that I really encourage you, if you haven't taken the time to do that, to take some time, go inward, align yourself with your own knowing, and then the action will happen. And then a little bit after that, the rocket fuel for the action will really ramp it up. The other thing to note, just as I'm saying all this, is, Pluto is still moving into Aquarius until the end of April. So we have this forward momentum, even as Mercury's going retrograde. There's this forward momentum. I feel like Mercury retrograde is saying, go back through the things. Go sit with yourself and communicate with yourself so you're ready to express when it's time. When Pluto hits the end of April, it's going to start going backwards through Aquarius so that by September, I think 2nd, it can dip into Capricorn one more time. Last time in our lifetimes. It'll dip back into Capricorn, clean up the last little pieces. And then November, I think 19th or 20th, it starts in the beginning of Aquarius going all the way forward for the next 20 years. So we're still doing a little bit of this back and forth dance in the Capricorn Aquarius energy. Pluto's about transforming, death and rebirth. In the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. Get on Google, do some research, trust the way that the questions come up in your awareness, and gather data from wise astrologers and sit with it. What's true for you? How does this time serve your growth as a soul in a human body? What transformation are you working through right now? And how does the astrology support you? Because it's intended to support you. And so many, I believe, are overwhelmed by all of it and overwhelmed by the pace because time is really morphing. And so so many people are like covering their ears, hunkering down, looking at what's in front of them. And all of this energy is available outside of us that's like, let me help you. Let me show you. Let me clear. And I don't think we're ever choosing wrong. I think if we're wanting to keep our heads down and the cover over our eyes, it's because there's something in us that's not quite ready for whatever the next awareness is, or we're just working through some emotions. It's not wrong. And when we're here for the most extraordinary human experience, when our soul came here with this intention of like maximizing all that we can while we're here, like going all the way into the growth. It's like I was saying last week with the journey, the definition of journey. I want to go down into the depths and up into the heights and soar through the cosmos and be here on earth. Like I want all of it. If that resonates with you, then this eclipse time is pure gold. It's filled with wisdom for you, from you to you. It's filled with magic and creative potential and truth and like, oh, it's so good. So what do you choose to do? There's no wrong choice, but there is a choice. And here I am, tapping on you again, nudging again, going, hey, what are you choosing? What are you doing? See truth. Okay, that's enough. Telling you, eclipse time. It's quite the journey, isn't it? If you're in the muck, you're like, I'm going to do all my work, and also I want someone else to help validate or just witness what I'm doing because I'm so in it. Set up an activation session. There are some beautiful time spots available for April and for May. I have a program coming up starting on April 22nd, Earth Day, that's called Remember Your Power. And it's still in process. Like I feel like I know what it's about, and then I get another little see truth moment, and it's forming as my power is strengthening and forming within myself. But you can claim your seed and put it on your calendar now. The exchange is $2,222 for that experience. It is going to be worth 10 times that. It's going to be a beautiful, powerful journey, and I'm doing my work to be ready for it. And then if you just want community, the practicum is the place to come and hang out. I'm going to go create the new moon content, a tarot reading video, which will be posted here tomorrow probably, if not on Saturday. and a meditation that you can exchange for. It's $33, and it'll also give you the extended video. So if you're like, okay, see truth, doing my work, and like I need some support specifically with this new moon and cards and images to help me, that content will be available for you. You've got this. I've got this. We've got this. It is a magnificent moment in humanity's evolution, and it is always my greatest honor to be sitting here in it with you. So here we go. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.